Supernatural access is the basic requirement of every great destiny. In other words, access is a universal need. In other words, access is a necessity. Beauty notwithstanding, if you are not given access to the corridors of marriage, you can never marry. Intellectual prowess notwithstanding, if God doesn't give you access, your certificate is meaningless. When you are in your mother's womb and you are conceived in your mother's womb, there is a period that has been assigned for you to be in your mother's womb. After that period, 9 months, there is a battle for access. Your mother is struggling to push you out, and you are also struggling to have access to the world you are being brought into. Without access, destiny can be limited. You can be very eloquent as a preacher, very gifted as a preacher, but what advertises your gift is the access God gives you. You can have ideas, you can have visions. Do you know that some of the big people who are, let's say, designers on social media in this country, that all the celebrity weddings, their names are all over the place and they are showing celebrate weddings. You know there are tailors who are in villages that are better and creative than them, but the difference is the access they have. You can have a business, but the person who has access to your business will determine whether your business goes far or not. That's why you need access. And I'm not only talking about physical access, I'm talking about supernatural access. I'm talking about an asset that comes from divinity, where God opens a door for you, and then what is lacking, you begin to access it. Sir, in Genesis chapter 40, when Joseph was telling the cupbearer and the baker that when you go into the palace, remember me, what he was saying is that give me access. You can't be praying for favor without access, because you can only be favored when you are seen. And the people who see you matters. You see, you can't compare Bill Gates to Patapa. The two of them are not the same. When you enter the presence of Bill Gates, you have entered the presence of million. When you have entered the presence of Patapa, you have entered the presence of ordinary men. Don't greet you. Sure. If you're a lady and God doesn't give you access, only Bema Bedas a being worried with that. A man marrying you is not about washing for him. You can wash for a man and he will still be seeing another woman. You can cook alone kama and carry it on your head. With this level of civilization, you are still cooking and putting it in this thing and carry, and you are walking in the middle of the night. Now, also, Reverend Willie, you know something? There are people in Ghana, the land has not given them access. The land has not accepted them. God doesn't bless people without the instrumentality of men. That's why while you treat men is important. The way you relate with men is important, because that person you are despising today may be your open door tomorrow. Even Jesus, who was the selfie of God, when he came, he needed wise men. He needed people with gifts. There are a lot of people that cannot be given access. The problem with Mordecai was a spiritual problem. Mordecai's problem was a spiritual problem, because the guy was a gatekeeper but couldn't have access, because there was a Haman that was a diviner in the land that wanted everything good to come to him. When God gives you supernatural access, every satanic resistance is broken. And I want to prophesy to somebody whose amen will thunder. Anything that is a stumbling block, resisting you, preventing you from accessing the dividends of salvation, as you scream an amen, that wall is broken.